Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am so very excited to have a conversation with actor, writer, and producer John Owen Lowe. John has appeared in the shows The Grinder, The Low Files, and the movie Holiday in the Wild. Currently, John stars in the hilarious Netflix series Unstable, which he also created with his dad, Rob Lowe, and Victor Fresco. Thank you so much for being on my show. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
I'm excited to be here. This is fun.
Yeah, so first of all, I just wanted to tell you you've been a dream interview of mine since the Low Files came out. So
Ah,
uh,
Well, I mean, not that many people know about the low files, so I'm impressed. I'm impressed. We can definitely get into some low files lore if you want to.
yeah, I would love that. My family and I loved that show.
That is amazing. I love that.
Yeah, so I would love to hear all about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, that show was born out of the fact that my dad genuinely loves conspiracy theories, and you know, he thinks that Bigfoot is real, and he thinks that ghosts can communicate with us, and aliens exist and all these things, which are, it's funny, a lot of these things are not that far-fetched anymore, at least as much as they were a couple of years ago. But he loved it so much, and he wanted to take my brother and I always on these strange expeditions. And I remember just one day he was like, what if Annie filmed it and we did it together? And I was reluctant. I was the only reluctant one because I didn't subscribe to any of these beliefs at the time, and I thought it was silly. And then he was like, "Well, you'll get to spend time with me and your brother, and we'll travel around." And I thought, "Okay, that sounds sweet and fun." And then that's how we ended up doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, I used to, when I was younger, I used to be like really into all like the ghosts and supernatural stuff, and now that just freaks me out.
Uh, Same. I
So,
think I think I don't like to. I like to not believe in it because it's spooky. I'm like, and
yeah,
it's less scary if I don't think it's real.
yeah, exactly. Um, so who has had the biggest impact on you professionally?
It's a great question. I mean, it's tough to give it to just one person. I would say, I've been fortunate to learn from a lot of people. Growing up, my both my parents, I think, had a big impact on me because they helped structure my life in a way that I got to be creative, and was supported like that, and also got to explore all of my interests. But I think, as far as my career is gone, there's so many people. I would be remiss to try and pick one. My first job in a writer's room was as a production assistant on The Grinder, which you mentioned, and the creators of that, Jared, Paul, and Andy Mogul, were very sweet, took a chance on me. And then I worked with the Chernins. Well, again, when I say worked with, I mean, like, at this point I was getting coffees and lunches, but learning a lot. And they were so insightful. They created this TV show called The Mick on Fox. And then, I worked in the Ryan Murphy world for a bit and learned from guys like Brad Beaker, who's an EP director on a lot of their shows. And this is maybe the most boring answer ever. I'm just giving a catalog of people that I love and respect. Rashad Raisani, the showrunner, Tim Minear, creator, and then, of course, Victor Fresco, uh, who co-created Unstable with us. Learned so much from him. I like learning from people. I don't like being the smartest person in a room. I, I
Yeah.
like I like feeling like I have something to learn from these folks.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I did not find that a boring answer. I found it really interesting. So,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
yeah. Yeah. Who has had the biggest impact on you as a person?
Wow, even deeper. I like it. Oh man. I'm gonna think about this. I'm trying not to give you just like surface level instinct answers. Again, I would probably, say my parents, my brother, my family, my immediate family. I would say I've done all of my closest friends. I've been very intentional about surrounding myself with people that I not only love but look up to and respect. And so if they give me advice, I listen to them. Um, sheesh. Who else? My therapist, Dr. Nancy. Shout out to Dr. Nancy. And of course, I wouldn't be anywhere without my manager, my agent, my lovely publicist, Miss Jennifer Allen. There's my answer.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Um, so you've worked with your dad on multiple projects. Are there any challenges to working with a family member?
There's definitely some challenges for sure. I would say that it's frustrating at times because family tend to be the ones that are the toughest on us and can get under our skin the quickest. So there's little like argumentative frustration boil over moments, but overall, it's a beautiful experience. I really cherish getting to work with my dad. And I know that, one day he won't be around. And I will look back on this time very fondly. And so I try and carry that perspective with me throughout the day when I'm working with him too.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So what is the biggest obstacle you have overcome?
Hmm. Um, well, look, I mean, one thing for sure is that, I struggled with addiction when I was younger. I try to be pretty public about that because I think, I like getting that message out there. And if somebody who needs to hear it hears it, that's great. I think, actively recovering from that and finding sobriety in my life and finding myself and spirituality in that process is both the most difficult thing I've overcome and also probably the most important thing I've done in my life. And I wouldn't be where I am, wouldn't be sitting here talking to you or about unstable or any of it, the low files, without having figured that stuff out. So I'd probably say that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. So if you had a reality TV show about your life, what would your theme song be?
I love that question. Uh oh man. Hold on, I gotta think about this. Hold on. There's this I think it's is it Simple Plan that sings that song, I'm Just a Kid? I love that song. Maybe I'm like thinking like, I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I could
Yeah.
play uh that one
Yeah.
I'm picking something like that because it makes me laugh. I'm not saying
Oh,
that I
yeah.
identify with the lyrics, but I think that would be funny for my life.
Yeah.
But shoot, maybe I can cheating. I might pick two. How about okay, no, I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that. I'll stick with
Okay.
that.
Okay. I love that. um, so what is something that people are always surprised to learn about you?
I would say that I almost was going to be a scientist. That's what I wanted to be growing up. I worked in a stem cell biology research lab in during the summers when I was in high school at UCSF, and specifically in like a regenerative health oriented stem cell research lab focusing on cancer research. And I have since forgotten all that I learned. So I have no uh, foundation of knowledge left, but I literally worked in a lab, pipetting and culturing stem cells for people to do experiments, and I'm technically a published scientific author because I got named one of the abstracts that got printed only because they used the cells that I cultured for them. But that's something people are surprised to find out usually.
Oh yeah. Well, that's impressive. I was always horrible at science, so
I was too, by the way. I was too. I was only good at the grunt work, the lab work. That's what I could do.
Mm. Yeah, I was always scared of the lab work because they'd always go through everything that you have to like be careful with everything and like wear like cover your skin, wear safety goggles, and it always made me super anxious. So I was just like, I want to stay away from this.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Yeah. It was, eh, it's not for the faint of heart, that work. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I um remember that my sister and I once in middle school we were both taking a science class that we were dissecting something and or it was like on a field trip we were dissecting something and my sister and I and half the class ended up outside of the room just like feeling like we were all gonna throw up from it.
Oh yeah, no, it's so good. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm a lover. I like animals. I don't
yeah,
like killing things or uh dead bodies. And
yeah,
so we had to work with mice in my
oh,
lab, and
oh,
you never have to kill them.
yeah,
But I still didn't like doing it.
yeah, yeah. Um, so what in your life brings you the most joy?
Mm, I'm thinking about that. That's another great question. I love art, so a lot of my favorite ways to pass time and express myself are connected in artistic mediums. So I paint, and I play piano and I write music, and I like writing, of course. So I would say, artistic expression brings me a lot of joy in life.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I love just anything like music related. I can't play any instruments, so I think that's very impressive. Um, and I love I love writing lyrics and just like as a way to get out like any emotion.
it's a beautiful way to expunge the emotions that we need to get out.
Yeah.
And I bet, I bet you sing in the shower, or at least in private
Yeah.
moments. So in some way you're a
Yeah.
musician yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I when nobody can hear me, if there's a song I'm like really obsessed with, I will sing it at the top of my lungs.
Then you're a musician, and that counts.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so I am pop culture obsessed and go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Ooh. Ooh. Um, yeah. There's a couple. That's why I'm ruminating. I really enjoyed Presumed Innocent on Apple. Uh, Jake Gyllenhaal, very dreamy.
Yeah.
Uh, I what am I obsessing over though? Like what gets me? I'm rewatching for this is so lame, but I'm rewatching for the millionth time The Office. But they have this new version of it apparently that I just discovered, which is like extended. It's like the fan favorite version of The Office. It's on who? No, Peacock that has like scenes never before seen scenes, and so I'm enjoying that again. And I like reality TV, man. It's perhaps shameful to admit, but watched a little bit of Love Island. Couldn't fully get behind it, but I tried it. I watch Vanderpump Rules. uh, uh, Occasionally dabble in some Real Housewives, but that's where I'm at currently. What about
Oh,
you?
cool.
What are your current favorites?
Oh, right now I just finished watching on Apple. There's two new shows. One called Time Bandits.
I've heard of this.
Um
Need to watch
that
this.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very entertaining.
Okay.
Um and yeah, and then that just recently premiered. It's called Bad Monkey.
Yeah, the Vince Vaughn,
Yeah.
Bill Lawrence one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
You started it. How do you like it?
Yes, it's really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's really well done. Um,
Yeah, they're great.
and
Everybody involved in that's great.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then I've been rewatching Unstable and
Yes, I was
yeah.
waiting.
Yes. Yeah. I've recently my family and I have been rewatching the show Royal Pains.
Oh, that's I know of it. What is that one
Yeah,
again?
it's so good. It's a New York doctor who gets fired and then moves to the Hamptons.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's one of my favorites and my family's favorites. So we've like rewatch done a full rewatch of the show every couple years. So
Oh, that's very sweet. I love that.
yeah, it's really fun. Um, yeah, so if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh man, that's I like that. That's funny. I think it would say like it would be like one of those like bubble wrapped packages that says fragile, easily. I don't want to say broken, but like my parents tell me I'm a bubble boy. Like I can get sick very easily.
Yeah,
Uh, I I'm always the one that gets sick on a trip, on a vacation, or you know, I
yeah.
had a lot of broken bones as a kid or whatever. So probably fragile young lad, I would
Uh,
say.
I like that one. Yeah. Um, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Ooh, comedy. I mean, I'm biased because I'm drawn to comedy. That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I grew up on and grew up doing. So comedy. I'd say can you imagine? I'm like murder mystery. No, comedy, yeah. I think who doesn't like to laugh? And
Yeah.
I think a good laugh can really like pull us out of any mood. And I love that about comedy. So, and my life
Yeah.
is a joke in many ways. So,
Yeah.
comedy.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think I love comedy and I think too, and I think my life would probably be categorized as like a dark comedy because my family and I have like such a twisted sense of humor.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, with like a very warped sense of humor. So, um,
I love that. I love that.
yeah.
So does my family, and so do I. So then we're no wonder we get along
Oh yeah, I love that. I think we would definitely get along.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so when you have a day off, what would your perfect day look like?
Okay. I think it starts with sleeping in. I love my sleep. Uh, so I'd sleep in. I would do some of my artistic hobbies that I mentioned. I'd get some painting in, maybe some piano. Uh, I play chess a lot on my phone. I'm kind of addicted to the chess app, so I'd get a little chess in. I'd do a lot of hobbies, and then I'd need to get outside. This makes it sound like I sit inside all day and get outside, go on a walk, maybe a little hike. Get a workout in of some kind, a little pump, a little lift, get the guns going. And then I don't have guns, by the way, like these guns are not that impressive. And then maybe, oh, this is I'm hearing this out loud. I'm like, she said perfect day. Like, no, no, no. Yeah, my perfect day is like I win the lottery and like meet my wife and blah, blah, blah. And then maybe like sit out and listen to some music by my pool and just chill. I like to just relax. I'm not like
Yeah.
although I did say I'm like, here's 15 activities I'd like to do in the morning. I don't know. That was an incredibly scattered answer, but I hope it gives you a sense of my
Yeah, I like that answer. Yeah,
like,
yeah. So I just have two more questions for you.
okay.
Um, so what motivates you on days you aren't really feeling it?
Great question. Uh, Having a routine really helps me, having structure. I have some mentors that told me once, little pieces of advice like write a page every day. Even if you're not feeling it, write a page of something. It can be bad, but it keeps those muscles strong. And I don't think that specifically needs to be the thing you do, but just as long as you have a routine to fall back on when you're feeling unmotivated or, you know, lethargic, going like, well, if I don't do this thing, I'm breaking my routine. That helps me stay motivated for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I'm someone who I really like routine, and when I don't have a routine, I don't do very well with that. Um so I like having a routine and like kind of knowing what's gonna happen.
Yeah, same. I'm the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I feel like we were just meant to meet.
Best friend.
Yes. Sorry, what?
I said I agree. I completely
Oh,
agree.
yeah. Thanks, yeah. Um, yeah. So, my final question for you is, which I was trying to hold off on asking it because I just love talking with you. And, um, I feel like I could just keep talking to you.
Oh,
Um,
very sweet.
yeah. So I love inspiring and motivational quotes. And this week, the quotation that spoke to me is we cannot always choose the music life plays, but we can choose how we dance to it.
Mhm.
Is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love that quote. That's a great one. You know, I'm trying to pick one. I'm trying to think of something. I think that somebody once said to me, and again, there's a religious, spiritual element to this quote that does not need to apply to religion per se. it can be just believing in spirituality. But someone once said to me, because I said, I'm searching for meaning and for some sort of response from a higher power out there, from something bigger than myself. And I was, yearning for, signs and like my version of a burning bush. And they said to me, I think that they use the word God, but let's say higher power or even the universe. We'll say the universe. They said, the universe speaks to me through other people, that I hear what I need to hear through other people. And so I think that's a really beautiful quote that I've been thinking about recently, because there's so many times where I hear exactly what I need to hear from the people that I love or that I'm close to, something that makes me feel good about myself or something that encourages me or inspires me. And I often just attribute it to, oh, that person had something really profound to say. But I actually think that it's nice to think there's something deeper than that, that there's the universe is trying to tell me something there. And so that's the quote I'll pick.
Oh, I love that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was my final question for you. I have just had the best time talking with you. I seriously feel like I've just been talking with my best friend, so thank you.
Oh, I feel it's the same. This is so fun, so easy and lovely. And your questions are really thoughtful, really, really thoughtful.
Thank you. Yeah, I so appreciate your taking the time to join me today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, you too. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you. Of course, thank you so much. I again can't tell you what this means to me. So
I had a blast. Truly, this was great.
thank you. Yeah, me too. Um, and that's a wrap on today's edition of the latest with Maya.